Our next speaker hails from the great nation of South Africa, which has fought to try to resurrect the soul of humanity by taking that case, bringing the case before the International Court of Justice with respect to Palestine in the name of truth and reconciliation. If there is going to be a new republic of humanity, it will be led by the actions of such people as Her Excellency Naledi Pandor, former Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, South Africa.
Thank you very much, Dr. Speed, and thank you to Dr. Helga Zepp-LaRouche for that excellent exposition. Well, we're all living in a very difficult, toxic geopolitical environment. And what is of great concern is that it is negatively affecting all areas of human advancement, advances we have achieved since the early years of industrialization, from positive migration to the protection of human rights, protection of academic freedom, protection of the right to free expression, protection for legitimate redress of inequality, and protection and respect for constitutional law. All of these elements of progressive development face threats today. Included in this global decline is a significant growth in right-wing populism, chauvinistic nationalism, and a growing belief that I'm not my sister's keeper, I am her enemy, or even worse, I am her boss. These reversals threaten our 4 decades of broadly peaceful coexistence and require all progressive organizations to work together on a well-constructed strategy to restore multipolarity and a focus on our real global challenges, which are poverty, underdevelopment, oppression, insecurity, climate degradation, and the growing arms race that threatens world peace. Efforts to create multilateral organizations that will promote positive values and principles need to intensify, as we have not yet had a result of effective counterweights to the impact of an influential, dominant United States America view of the world, a view that might is right and might is all that matters. The recent emergence of BRICS, the growing economic progress of member states of the ASEAN Association, the role of the Islamic Organizations Conference and of the African Union, all need to be harnessed and directed toward framing a plan and strategy that will assert multilateralism and development as key global objectives, and that will openly act to secure freedom for Palestine, security for Israel, peace for Ukraine, peace for Russia, and development for Africa, and efforts that will end the external malign activities that we see in resource-rich African countries. I call for this united collaboration because I am aware that there are many efforts globally to counter the negative developments that are part of the toxic global environment. However, due to the dissipated nature of the efforts at resistance and response, we are not achieving the outcomes we desire. It is tragic that we've allowed over 18 months of slaughter of the people of Palestine, and that as we watch today, thousands face starvation, and we may very well have, in a few years, some of our organizations mopping up the skeletons of Palestinians who starved due to our inability to act cohesively and decisively. I believe the likelihood of a new world order depends on our open acknowledgement as UN member states that the world is today at a precipice and that determined, robust action is required to restore sanity and open the space for action that will contribute to a safer world. This action for a new global order appears increasingly impossible, given the significant global leader role the world has attached to the United States of America. In a sense, the king we have crowned is the one causing the problematique we face today, and we need to act to reverse that. Meetings such as this one and many other conferences should be more steadfast and focused on setting out the value of positive global principles such as integrity, cooperation, democracy, equity, freedom, and inclusion. Ordinary citizens must be alerted to the danger of losing individual civil liberties and of the destruction of institutions that promote and support democracy, such as our judiciaries, as well as our legislatures. These are being rendered impotent by the actions we see from leaders today. Initiatives that have been promoted by the Schiller Institute, such as the development of the Oasis plan or the African Union's Agenda 2063, and of course, the open recent approach by the Schiller Institute and many others to His Eminence Pope Leo XIV, provide important foundations for a values-led and principles-led global initiative. I hope that the Institute, in partnership with many other organs of civil liberty, will continue to focus on drawing increased attention to initiatives such as these and play a critical role in reasserting multipolarity and a new political logic of a caring, rational global leadership. As has been said before, what we require today is an adult in the room, and we are sorely missing that quality. We perhaps need to turn to the growing importance of BRICS countries and the role that they may play through a keener focus on key global tensions and on opportunities that the growing BRICS membership could play in promoting the role of the United Nations as the premier multilateral body, as well as in ensuring that we do work at the key reforms that are necessary for a more efficient, effective, and impactful United Nations and a Security Council able to execute its role of ensuring peace and security in the globe. We should call for the convening of organizations of the South in particular, as well as the broader non-aligned movement, into a powerful new institution for progressive ideals, sustainable development, peace, and security. There is no merit in us appreciating the population numbers of the BRICS countries or the inherent GDP value that they hold as they come together. What we need to see is a political BRICS that begins to play a role in effectively changing the world order and in ensuring that we do focus on humanity and on addressing the key challenges confronted by humanity today. We need world leaders to stand up. We need world leaders who are genuine when they commit resources to addressing climate change. We need world leaders who are genuine when they articulate sustainable development goals, leaders who ensure that financing follows those commitments, leaders who ensure that when they speak of ending nuclear weapons proliferation, they are active in ending such proliferation, leaders who ensure that they do not initiate an arms race as we are seeing today, but end the proliferation of arms throughout the world. We need leaders who will ensure that arms do not get into African countries and initiate civil wars in Africa, initiate ethnic wars, initiate extremism, initiate danger for women and reversal of gender equality. One of the apparent characteristics of the current geopolitical environment is a serious danger of reversal of the achievements women have made in women's equality and empowerment. We see today that the very virulent negative voices are primarily male, and that their message is chauvinistic, it's patriarchal, and it is therefore important that women's organizations play a key role in reversing this trend. We are very, very encouraged that young people have tried to stand up and have begun to have a voice in rejecting the current unipolarity and the dominant world order that seeks to rule over us rather than entrench cooperation and development. So we believe that our strategic challenges relate to development, to world peace, and to a sustainable world. And we think that through the Schiller Institute and several other progressive initiatives, we could begin a march toward creating a new world order that helps to enhance the value of positive principles for the good, the value of the interest of humanity, rather than the driving force of angry individuals who do not seek a positive outcome for the globe. I thank you for your attention, and I wish you well in the conference. Thank you very much.